stay out too late, son. Lots of work tomorrow.
That's why I'm starting early.
Take me, Arlie. Please. Pretty please.
Not this evening, Rydia.
Huh. Mary Allen.
See you later.
Don't drive too fast in that new car.
Don't worry, Mom.
It's lovely.
Not half as lovely as...
It's comfortable, too.
It'd be more so if you moved over this way a little.
Ollie, please.
Why not? Found someone else you like better?
Don't like anybody else at all. Look, Ollie, it's turned over. Hurry! Ollie, please hurry. He's hurt. See, he's terribly injured. There.
Oh, thanks.
Don't try to talk. Ollie, help me get him up.
Don't, please.
Gosh, we better get him to the hospital.
No, that's too far. We'll take him back to our house. Hurry, get him in our car.
Get him to the hospital in half an hour.
That's too far, I say. Back to our house. Hurry, Ollie, he's in pain. Is he going to live, Doctor?
Why, certainly. No bones broken. Just a case of traumatic asphyxia.
Gee, Willikers, what's that?
The lungs congested. You see, he was pretty well squeezed when the car rolled over on him. Just keep him quiet, keep him propped up in bed so he can breathe easily, and feed him easily digested foods, and all the milk he'll drink.
We should have taken him to the hospital.
No, on the contrary. That is, if Mary and Mrs. Allen don't mind taking care of him.
Oh, of course we don't.
Well, he's better off right here, where he can get plenty of fresh, clean air and rest. I'll be back in the morning.
Well, guess I'd better see about getting his car into town. Good night, Mary.
Good night, Ollie.
See you in the morning.
Say, who are you? What happened?
Oh, nothing much. You'll be all right, the doctor said.
Where am I? What's all the cows and chickens and the horses doing? What's your name?
Mary Allen. I have some breakfast for you.
Mary Allen. Oh, damn those animals.
What'd you say?
I didn't say anything. What's the milk for?
To drink.
Oh, yes, of course. I used to drink milk.
Here, let me help you.
Thanks. No, I like it this way. You're a marvelous nurse.
Oh, but I'm not a nurse. The hospital is so far that we...
Well, that's all right. I like amateur nurses much better. They're much prettier, don't you think?
Well, I don't know, I'm sure. But I do know Dr. Butler said to keep you quiet.
Mary, Dr. Butler and Orley are here. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Are you Mrs. Allen?
Yes, and this is Dr. Butler, Mr. I don't believe you've told us your name.
I'm Walter Conway. Good morning, Doctor.
Morning, son.
I don't know how to thank you all enough. I'm still a bit hazy as to what it's all about.
Well, young man, we'll see. No internal injuries. Just keep him comfortable, that's all. I want to see him occasionally and check up on him. You see, he's had the flu lately, and this accident won't do him any good. Well, I'll drop in again tomorrow.
Does that mean that you have to wait on that guy? As busy as you are?
Orley.
All I've got to say is that it's an imposition. Well, I've got to be going. Goodbye.
Well, goodbye, Orley. Yes? Will you finish your breakfast now?
No, I'd rather clean up a bit first. Did they get my suitcase out of the car?
Yes, here it is.
Oh, what a break. Will you get me my toilet case and some water and a towel?
Certainly. But you shouldn't exert yourself.
Oh, I'll feel a lot better after a shave.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'll stand it here on the dresser where you can see it.
Thanks.
Well, I'll get you some hot water.
The garage man says that fella can have his car in 3 days.
Why, Mr. Conway won't be able to use it for several weeks, so the doctor says.
That so? Well, maybe Mary'll be too busy to handle those chicks now.
Of course she won't. By the way, did you order them from the hatchery?
Yeah, they'll have a new hatch coming off 3 weeks from tomorrow. Fine bunch of white leghorns.
Mary, dear, there's your chance. I paid a premium to the hatchery to get you those 250 baby chicks. My 250 will be here at the same time.
Your mama's right, Mary. You'll have just as many chicks this year as she'll have. Your job now is to take care of them.
You bet I will. I can hardly wait till I get here. You better let me help you.
Well, all right. Guess I can't be in any worse condition than I am already. Look, if you can get by without taking off both my ears, would you mind sitting down and telling me about yourself?
Sorry, but I have too much else to do.
Oh, well, what, for instance?
Oh, only churn and gather the eggs and feed the cows and sweep the floor, and wash the dishes and help Mama cook.
All right, all right, all right. Will you please phone for a hospital nurse?
Oh, I didn't mean that.
Well, then tell me about yourself.
Not until you've told me about yourself.
Oh, well, that won't take long. I'm just the only son who's been kicked out of college. Got nothing else to do but go to work in my father's business.
Well, don't you want us to notify your family?
No, that won't be necessary. I'll write Father a letter.
Oh, but won't your mother be terribly worried?
I haven't any mother.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. I'll adopt your mother while I'm here. What do you say?
Well, I'm sure Mama won't mind.
Ooh. You know, you haven't told me a thing about yourself.
Well, there isn't much to tell. I was born and brought up on a farm.
Oh, a farmer's daughter, huh? Oh, a farmer's daughter has nice brown hair. A farmer's daughter has nice brown hair.
I guess you're still a little out of your head.
Oh, please. It was just an old ballad. But you have got nice, soft brown hair.
Mr. Conway.
Oh, please, won't you be just a little friendly and call me by my first name? They'd do that for anyone at the Rotary Club. Please, Mary.
Well, Walter, you mustn't talk so much.
Gee, I've been trying to get you to do the talking. Most girls do all of it. You know, I don't believe I've ever met anybody quite like you before.
Well, I must be going.
Oh, wait a minute. Tell your mother I want to see her.
All right. Mama, Walter wants to see you.
Who?
I mean, Mr. Conway.
Oh. You wanted to see me, Mr. Conway?
Yes, Mrs. Allen. If I have to stay here for some time, I don't want to be a burden to you. So won't you let the hospital send over a nurse to kind of keep me propped up in bed and...
Oh, my, no. We couldn't think of doing that, Mr. Conway. Mary and I...
Please make me feel at home and call me Walter. Now, I know that you and Mary are splendid nurses, but you're so busy. Won't you at least let me pay my board and keep? I have to do that much in the hospital.
We cannot accept pay. I'm sorry if you...
Please, I didn't mean to offend, but I don't want to be a burden to you in any way. Couldn't have had a more fortunate accident than to fall into hands like yours. The gods were with me.
God was with you, Walter. You might have been killed.
Yes, I know. You're so kind, you and Mary.
Don't talk about it. You're getting tired. Take a little nap now and get your strength back.
It's Scott.
What is it?
Walter's had an accident.
Anything serious?
Guess not.
Well, where is he?
In a farmhouse.
Oh, good heavens.
Says they're nice people.
I had a great uncle who was a farmer once.
They won't take any money.
Must be funny people. Shall I cable Miss Shirley?
Yes. No. Wouldn't do any good. No need spoiling her trip. Take a letter to Walter. Dear son, to hear that you flunked out of college was to be expected. But to hear that you were in an automobile accident surprised me, because I thought you could at least drive a car. I suggest that you stay there and think things over until you get completely over your traumatic asphyxia.
How do you spell that?
Oh, A-S-S, oh, how should I know? Accident, until you get completely over your accident. And longer, if the Allens will have you around. If they won't let you pay them, work it out. I've never known a farmer yet who couldn't use plenty of help. I'm too busy to come after you now. Your sister won't be back for some time yet. In the meantime, I am sure you're in the best of hands. Far better than you would be loafing around my factory and making love to the girls in the office. Affectionately, your father.
Is that all?
That's enough, isn't it?
Gosh, it seems good to get outdoors once more.
Hurry up, Walt. I want you to see my little rabbits. They weren't even born when you came, and now they're over 2 weeks old. Come on.
Hey, not so fast, young fella. Not so fast.
Aren't they, honey? This one's name is Lucy. She's a great-great-great-grandmother.
Why, Lucy? No wonder you have so many white hairs.
And this one is Pauline. She's going to have some young ones this week.
My. How can you tell?
Gee whiz, Walt. Haven't you ever been on a farm? Come on over and take a look at my pigeons. Aren't they birds?
They look like birds to me, all right, Ted. Hello. Who's that coming in here?
Oh, that's Mr. Patterson.
Who's he?
He owns a feed store in town.
Oh.
Hello, Ted.
Where's your father?
In the cow barn. Come on, Walt. Let's go and listen to Pop turn 'em down.
How do you do? Patterson's my name.
So Ted was telling me. Conway's my name. I'm glad to know you, Mr. Patterson.
Say, aren't you the young fellow who was in the automobile accident?
That's me.
Oh, there's Pop.
Oh, hiya, John. How's tricks?
Can't complain. Met my young friend, Mr. Conway?
Yeah, we just shook hands.
Well, how's the feed business?
Oh, about as usual. Come over to see if I couldn't sell you some Purina dry and thickened chow for any cows you have coming in pretty soon.
Not a chance. I got plenty of corn and oats left.
They need more than that, John. If
There's nothing better, in my opinion, Charlie, for a dry cow than good old corn and oats.
they're good, all right. But just like a man can't live on bread and butter alone, a cow can't,
I don't know. Been getting pretty good results with that ration for a long time. And I give them plenty of it. Don't I, Daniel Boone?
That's the amount. So much as the kind of feed you give them that counts, John.
I fed your Purina feeds and they're all right. But they're too high.
You mean the price?
Absolutely. No feed ought to cost more than $40.
There's a big difference between price and cost, John. Purina feeds may sell at a little higher price, but they cost a lot less on account of the bigger results they produce.
Whatever you call it, price or cost, it's all the same.
What I mean is, Purina will produce more milk for you at less cost per dollar of feed than other feed you can use.
I tell you, I'm not buying any cow feed right now, Charlie. You're just wasting your time.
Well, you're the doctor. Oh, by the way, John, looks like hogs are going to bring pretty good price next fall.
Hope so.
Yep, and if a fella can get his hogs to market before the rush, he ought to get a better price still. Purina pig and hog chow will help you do it, John.
I don't know. I don't go in much for those fancy hog feeds. I figure if you give your hogs all the corn they want to eat and a little tankage and give them good pasture, you get pretty good results.
Yeah, I know. I've been selling you tankage for some time, and I appreciate the business. But tankage is only one kind of protein. And what a hog needs is different kinds of proteins in just the right amount. And that's what you get in pig and hog chow.
Maybe so, but I am just not interested, I tell you, Charlie. Not now.
Nice looking white leghorns there. Many birds you got, John?
Oh, a couple of hundred, I guess.
Getting pretty good egg production?
Not bad. Of course, the hens never lay enough eggs to suit the women folks.
How about letting me send you out some Purina? That'll make them lay.
Not me. You got to see the missus about that. She takes care of the chickens.
Wonder if I can see her.
Sure. She's up in the house now.
Okay. I'll go on up. Well, so long, John.
Goodbye, Charlie.
How'd you make out, Mr. Patterson?
Fine.
Come in. Why, Mr. Patterson,
Good morning, folks.
have a chair. Ted, you'll be late to school. Here's your lunch.
Oh, gee whiz, do I have to go to school the first day Walt's up and around?
Now run along.
My, whatever you're baking sure smells good.
It's a cake for Walter. We thought of celebrating.
Yes, you were pretty lucky, young fella, to have your accident near the Allen home.
You're telling me?
By the way, have you ordered your baby chicks, Mrs. Allen?
Yes, and she's getting $250 extra for me.
Well, that's pretty nice. Going to make some money of your own, eh, Mary?
Gonna try to.
And she can, too, if she'll really look after them.
Looks like maybe I've found two good customers for Purina Startina.
Not me, Mr. Patterson. I've been mixing a starting mash for years. and I've done pretty well with it. I don't see why I should change.
Wouldn't be surprised, but what the good care you've given your chickens, Mrs. Allen, accounts for your success more than what you fed them.
Mama certainly does take good care of her chickens, all right.
Well, I don't neglect them.
Except, maybe, if you don't mind me saying so, not feeding them Startina.
I can't afford Startina, Mr. Patterson.
I got an idea. Mary, you feed your chicks Startina, and your mother will feed her chicks in the regular way. And you prove to her that Startina is the cheapest starting feed you can buy when you compare the results you get with it.
I don't know. Mother's had pretty good success, Mr. Patterson.
Well, if you don't have chicks weighing on an average of 1/4 of a pound more than your mother's weigh at the end of 6 weeks, then I don't know what I'm talking about.
1/4 of a pound more?
Absolutely. You know, this Startina contains purity, a new ingredient that sure makes chicks grow.
But suppose I didn't beat her? Then she'd have a laugh on me.
No, the laugh would be on me. But I leave that to Startina.
You really mean 1/4 of a pound more? How much Startina would I need?
Well, let's see. A chick eats only a thimbleful a day. 250 chicks, 6 weeks. 2 pounds per chick. That's just 5 sacks.
1/4 of a pound more, 5 sacks. I believe I'll try it, Mr. Patterson. I'll be over day after tomorrow.
That's fine. Here's a circular that gives you the whole Purina program. Thanks a lot, Mary. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Well. Did that fella sell you something? But your mother and father were too smart for him.
I don't know. I guess I know what I'm doing.
I hope so, dear. But I'm afraid those 5 sacks of feed are going to cost you nearly all you saved up for that party dress.
Oh, no.
But of course, anything worth having is worth sacrificing for.
But I want to go to that dance with Orly. I've got to have a new dress.
Will you go to the dance with me if I buy you the Startina?
No, sir. I'll pay for the Startina myself, somehow.
You mean that you'll go to the dance with me anyway?
I do not. I'm going with Orly.
In the new dress?
Yes, I'll get it somehow.
I know. You can make it out of Startina sacks.
Don't be silly. Say, that gives me an idea.
Hello, Tom. Hi, Orly.
Howdy, Sally. Hello, Charlie. You got some flower seed here for Mrs. Manning?
Yep. Come on in, Tom. Got 'em inside. Don't go away, Hank. Comes right back.
Charlie's some guy.
Yeah. Well, Tom, you got a mighty pretty place up there. Your wife must spend a lot of time with those flowers.
She certainly does, Charlie.
I hear you're second in the Dairy Herd Improvement Association, Tom.
Mm-hmm. Second? Who's first?
Chris Swanson. By a pretty good margin.
What? That sweet? I'll be a son of a gun. How does he get away with it?
That's easy, Tom. Chris feeds cow chow. Same as I've been asking you to do for years.
Not me. Those Purina feeds may be all you say, but you can't sell Tom Manning.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Tom. Here are your seeds.
For heaven's sake, what's that?
Chicken feed.
What?
Chicken feed.
Yeah, I heard you the first time. But sure enough, what's it all about?
Well, Mr. Nosey, if you must know, I'm making some dolls from the Startina sacks. Cable's art shop said they'd sell them for me.
Oh, I see. To pay for your chicken feed with, huh?
Yes.
Gosh, they are cute. How'd you make the eyes?
Buttons.
How long did it take you to make the ears?
Oh, about 10 minutes.
What'd you stuff them with?
Cotton.
Cotton. Oh. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take 6 of these right now.
You will not, and I won't let Mr. Cable sell you any either. I don't want any help from my friends or anybody else.
Gosh, you are different, aren't you? Which little pig is this?
We've got to have this brooder nice and clean for those baby chicks. They'll be here in 3 days. Now, be sure to brush down all the dirt from the ceiling and the walls, and then clean the floor off good.
Hey, is there something I can do?
With those clothes on, I should say not.
Oh, it won't hurt 'em any.
Well, you'll ruin your shoes.
Gee, Mary, you'll learn all the dough these chicks are going to make you.
Then, Daniel, scrub the floor and the sill with boiling water and this Purina Crucifix solution.
Yes'm. Do I use that Crucifix straight or mixed?
Mixed, of course. Use a half pint to 2 gallons of that hot water.
Gee, Mary, I wish you'd boss me.
No, you weren't cut out for this sort of work.
Well, you needn't get sore at me. I'm serious about wanting to work.
Oh, no, you're not. If you'd ever lived on a farm like Ollie Manning, you'd know what work really is.
Oh, is that so? Well, I'll just show you. Here.
No,
here, fella,
if you
give me
really want to help, go into the house and get one of those 2 buckets of hot water I left boiling on the stove.
Okay, boss. There. Looks great now. Say, I've got an idea.
Yes?
Let's go to the movies tonight. In my car.
Walter Conway, I've got to get up early in the morning.
Well, we'll go to the show early. What are you doing that for, Mary?
I'm soaking this burlap bag in Crucifix to make a doormat out of it. Everybody who comes in has to step on this, and that'll kill all the germs we pick up with our feet.
Some sanitary chickens. Well, we ought to catch the first show. Don't you wish you could get away from all this to a cute little place in the city somewhere with a handsome husband coming home to you every evening, tell you how beautiful you are and how sweet your soft brown hair smells? Don't you?
I do not. And if that's the way you feel about farm life, we won't discuss the matter any further.
Listen, I was only kidding, Mary. But seriously, you don't expect to live in the country all...
Listen here, Walter Conway. You don't know what you're talking about. If you've been brought up on the farm the way I have, you couldn't even imagine getting any pleasure out of living at a number on a street with thousands of other people like peas in a pod. Living so close you can hear your neighbors quarrel. And at night, streetlights shut out the stars overhead. You don't know what it is to mother a brood of soft, fluffy baby chicks. Watch them grow into big, fine pullers.
Well, no.
You don't know what it is to see the baby cows and pigs and colts come and grow into fine, strong animals that give you your living. Of course, they're work, but when you love them, that kind of work is fun.
Hey, drop another nickel. You sound exactly like my father. You ought to have read the letter he wrote to me. Say, look what time it is. We'll have to hurry.
I'm gonna like you.
No, wait a minute. There's a short to be shown, too. Animal checkers or something like that. I saw it billed out front.
Do you want to see it?
Sure. Might as well get our money's worth.
What a whale of a difference there is between these 2 dogs. No beast in nature or in domestic life differs so widely from breed to breed in size, appearance, or usefulness as does man's best friend, the dog. There are, however, striking differences between the breeds of other members of the animal kingdom, too. For example, note the huge shoulders and plump hindquarters of this Aberdeen Angus cow. You just know she's the type that the best beefsteaks are made of. Now note the lean head, angular shoulders, and enormous udder of this Holstein cow. It's milk, and a lot of it, that you would expect and get from her. Take a look at this jungle fowl, the ancestor of your modern hen. She laid just enough eggs twice a year to keep her kind alive. But this modern queen of the poultry house lays 5 times her own weight in eggs throughout every year and thinks nothing of it, though her owner does. Scientists say that this prehistoric cow couldn't possibly have given more than 1,000 pounds of milk a year, whereas any cow on the farm today, which can't yield at least 6 times that amount, is apt to go to the butcher. While 12, 15, and even 20,000 pounds of milk are expected of every cow on many dairy farms. The process of developing today's unnatural domestic hen from the original natural stocks has been going on in a planned, directed way about 200 years. Today, even the average American barnyard is stocked with animals which have bred into them the capacity for astonishing yield in eggs, in milk, in beef, for yields in pork, in wool, with horses bred for work and for racing. Indeed, this idea of breeding for a purpose has, in a sense, been carried so far that it has almost obscured an equally important phase of stock raising, which is feeding for a purpose. But when the value of every cow is measured by the amount of milk she gives for $1 worth of feed, when the value of each steer is determined by its weight on the hoof, the quality of the beef, and the cost of its production, when every hen is rated in terms of the number and quality of eggs she lays and the cost of producing them, then the practice of poor feeding will be recognized as the arch enemy of good breeding and of your profits alike. But in one state alone, there are sold some 2,000 poultry feeds. Where in this maze of conflicting claims, fancy advertising slogans, imposing formulas, and clever tags is the farmer to turn in his search for scientific feeds that give maximum production? To aid them in their quest for productive feeding practice, all farmers have at their disposal one of the biggest and most completely equipped experimental farms in the world, where 600 dairy cows and heifers, 800 litters of pigs, 1,000 beef cows and calves, 1,000 dogs, foxes, and rabbits, 3,000 beef steers, 8,000 shoats and hogs, and 100,000 chickens, turkeys, and ducks actually have checked and proved every feed and formula and every feeding practice known to students of nutrition the world over. Let's visit first the poultry unit at the experimental farm and see what the Supreme Court of Poultry says about what ingredients or combination of ingredients agrees with their constitution and with your bank account. On the Purina experimental farm, feeds are checked by poultry, and the opinions of the chickens themselves are what count there. To answer the one question of amount and kind of proteins necessary for chick starting feeds, a 6-year test was conducted involving 81 separate experiments on 50,429 chicks with 308,502 separate weighings. Here is a brooder house that has a capacity of 4,000 baby chicks. 85,000 birds have passed through these pens. This last year, the mortality on all chicks was less than 4%. Here is a chick weighing 11 ounces, which is the weight of the average white leghorn at 6 weeks, but here is a chick weighing 16 ounces, which is the average weight attained on the experimental farm in 6 weeks' time. Just look at the difference which scientific research and practical experiments on this farm offer to every poultry raiser who feeds from the checkerboard bag. These chicks are bred alike. Feeding alone has made this difference. But the growing pullets on the Purina farm sound a warning to the poultry raiser that though the proper feed for chicks for the first 6 weeks is important, care in feeding them must not end there. The period after that is equally critical. Yet it is after that first 6 weeks that so many poultry raisers waste a good start. See these two pullets? Both were started alike on Startina. But at 6 weeks, the small one was fed a cheap growing mash, while the big pullet was fed Growina. They will both be fed the same laying mash. Past experimental work has shown that in 6 months after starting to lay, the little pullet will still not have paid her feed bill, while the big pullet will have paid all expenses and turned in a profit of 73 cents. In other words, neglect during the growing period alone very often makes the difference between profit and loss. In these laying houses, the hens tell their secrets of what feed makes more eggs, what feed makes better eggs, what feed keeps birds healthy, and most of all, what feed is most economical. Here were tried, tested, and double-checked such ingredients as alfalfa leaf meal, soybean meal, growth-tested meat scrap and fish meal, biologically tested cod liver oil, and finally, the newest and probably one of the greatest contributions, Purotine. Purotine is a new vital ingredient, green feed in concentrated form. This small glass of liquid is equal to a whole load of green stuff in vitamin A value. Vitamin A prevents disease. Lack of vitamin A is what so often causes cold, roup, and heavy hen mortality, together with loss of eggs and profit. Enough Purotine is added to each bag of poultry chow to step up its vitamin A activity to 2 1/2 times more pure vitamin A than any other poultry mash has ever contained. Every poultryman is seeking not only more eggs, but better quality eggs. In the poultry unit was developed Leina, the perfectly balanced all-mash ration with which it is possible to produce yolks absolutely uniform in color, greater shell strength, better flavor, higher vitamin content, firmer, thicker white. It is no wonder laying eggs are always in demand and bring higher prices. There are more of them in the top grades. Even more significant is the record of these breeding pens. In their first year, these Purina-fed breeders laid an average of 203 eggs each. In their second year, 184. In the third, 195. And in the fourth year, 166 eggs. This was a total of 748 eggs in 4 years of production, or an average of 187 eggs a year. Compare the record of these Purina-fed birds with so many birds that last only 1 or 2 laying years. Over in this brood sow unit of the experimental farm, equally important discoveries have been made in what the proper feeding can do for the hog raiser. For instance, the average grain belt farmer weans an average of 6 pigs per litter. It costs him 5 pigs to pay expenses up to weaning. So when he weans 6, he has 1 pig that is clear profit. In one season, the Purina farm averaged 7 3/4 pigs weaned per litter, or 2 3/4 pigs over and above expenses. You will readily see that there is a lot more profit for the pig and hog raiser who weans 2 or more extra pigs per litter. These 2 pens of hogs show what is happening on thousands of corn belt farms every year. The hogs in both pens came from the same litters. Both received corn and alfalfa pasture, but the hogs on the right received, in addition, Purina pig and hog chow, with the result that they weigh twice as much as the hogs on the left. The hogs on this farm, raised according to the Purina program, consistently go to the market at 5 1/2 to 6 months of age, weighing 210 to 230 pounds. Thus they reach the desirable market weight ahead of the rush and so bring a premium price. Contrast this result with that of many a grain belt farmer. His hogs aren't ready for market until 2 months later. They eat 2 more months' feed. They cost 2 more months' labor, and they make a slower rate of gain. Then, because they reach a glutted market, they bring 50 cents a hundred, or $1 per hog, less market price. This extra value often spells the difference between profit and loss. These results have been obtained over a period of some years, in which some 364 experimental rations have been tried out on some 8,000 hogs. A sack of Purina pig and hog chow saves 12 bushels of corn, and in this checkerboard bag is the final answer to what supplement grows 100 pounds of pork cheaper than any other known.